a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Jason Avery in the house, Avery Construction, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, we're going to introduce you to John Sloan, a new expert contributor and show partner with Keyrenter, property management company here in Tampa Bay. Going to talk all about property management and the things to look out for there, as well as a consumer advocate, always helping you win, making you more street smart and more informed as a consumer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We really appreciate everybody calling into the program. We've even experienced an uptick in calls lately. People reaching out to the show, wanting to be connected to our 80 different categories, 45 plus show partners associated with the Consumer Quarterback Show. So we really appreciate that. And we got to invite you again. We have our third Thursday gratitude party coming up over at Kingmakers. So save the date. It's Thursday, July 18th, 6 o'clock. It's a new location for us. It's over at Kingmakers, which is owned by Mike Murphy, Murphy Auto Group. And it's a really cool spot. It's over at 3707 West Carmen Street, Thursday the 18th, 6 o'clock. Alex, a lot of fun. Have you been over there yet? Have you seen it?
I have not. I've only seen it in the pictures and video and stuff. But I'm looking forward to go checking that out. It's a pretty cool spot. Yeah,
it's really neat what he did there. He's got a restaurant bar set up, really cool. It's like you're walking into a sports bar. TVs everywhere, awesome setup. It's a co-workspace. It's green rooms, conference rooms, and kind of that really unique entrepreneurial spirit. But yeah, we're gonna have our gratitude party for the Consumer Quarterback Show, and you are invited. You're our listening audience. We greatly appreciate your feedback from the show. And over the last few events at Brio and Hours Creole, we've had some really good turnouts, Alex.
Yeah, it's been a good turnout, man. I like meeting the listeners, and then also it's just always cool because usually, when we're here in studio, it's one at a time. Like we're sitting with just Fred, DeFelice, or we're just spending a little bit of time with Jason Avery.
Yeah.
But it's cool when we have that entire think tank together of everybody. We get to mingle, and everybody's got a good personality, so it's always a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you're into martial arts too. This our feel good story is kind of cool.
Just a little bit.
Martial arts, and I guess you throw like swords and weapons in there too. But 7th century sword with a gold handle found by elderly lady in a field. So pretty cool out of England. Story out of England. We're going to touch on that later on the program.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Weapons was one of my things. I actually won a weapons competition when I was a kid. So
nice.
I was pretty good with the bow staff, the nunchucks, and the katana, the sword, the Japanese sword.
Oh, man, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to get a sword. Where do you go about finding a sword, Jason?
Go to the flea market.
That's
where I got my katana and my nunchucks.
Are you serious?
You can find a sword in flea markets, but I wouldn't consider it battle ready.
Okay.
I take one swing with it.
Well, you got to look on the label and see if it's made in China or not.
Yeah, there you go.
It's only for when the AR runs out of bullets.
There you go. Right. It's like a last case scenario, right?
Just the best at it though was the Japanese. Japanese steel is unbeatable when it comes to blades.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, hey, I know their manufacturing business was pretty strong as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well,
you mentioned Fred DeFelice. I haven't seen the guy in a really long time, but I got his water system in my home. Man.
Same.
Great water.
Yeah, I'm actually drinking it right now in studio. I love Water Science US.
Freddie D, sure. What a good guy, man. I like Fred. Water Science US. So, awesome. So come to that event Thursday, the 18th, 6 o'clock. Come on out and hang out with our show partners, expert contributors on the show, real estate team, and others. It's a really cool space, too. You're going to like it. Kingmakers, 3707 West Carmen Street, co-workspace bar, green rooms, TVs everywhere. We'll have some fun. We're going to have a bartender there as well. Got some drinks flowing, have food provided. Great time. Come on out and join us there as well. All right, a couple of hot listings, and then we're going to jump into this content with Jason Avery, Avery Construction. He's also a published author. He's going to be sharing some consumer advocate tips with us here coming up. All right, we got some vacant land for sale. This is a brand new listing, just hit the market, 10413 Main Street. This is in Thonotosassa. It's almost 4 acres, just shy of 4 acres here. You got a zoning on it as PD. You have to look that up. Each area has their own different types of descriptions on the zoning. Commercial zoning. It's in Thonotosassa. There's across the street from a busy gas station. It's close to the pulse of Tampa as well. Easy access to major highways and thoroughfares. Great opportunity. You can see our professional photography, complements of Fabre frameworks. We do nice little red outlines so you can kind of see, where the property line estimates are. You have to get the survey to know exactly. But 10413 Main Street, Thonotosassa, one of our 60-plus listings from the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're listing vacant land, commercial properties, residential properties as well. 13651 Croft Drive North, and this is in Largo. Another new listing for the team here. This is a great opportunity in Largo, Pinellas County. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1 car garage, 1,066 square feet, single family home. You're minutes from beautiful Indian Rocks Beach. Updated luxury vinyl flooring throughout, naturally lit living room with sliders to a screened-in pool and patio, fenced-in backyard, stainless steel appliances, white cabinet, spacious island. You have beautiful bathrooms as well. The property's versatile, making it a great family home or an ideal short-term rental Airbnb investment close to the Pinellas Trail, Botanical Gardens, Largo Public Golf Course, St. Pete Clearwater Airport, and more. Check out 13651 Croft Drive North in Largo, Florida. Beautifully renovated property and staged. Great looking home. See all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's right. Shout out to our troops out there. Those guys saving our ass overseas, making it happen for us. Jason Avery, welcome back, sir.
Hey, man, it's great to be here again.
Yeah, man. Yep, you've been out of town, been traveling a little bit.
I've had family visiting, and I have a brother that lives on the other side of the planet. I get to see, every couple of years. So when he's here, we spend a lot of time together, and with my nephew, So
that's cool.
It's been fun, but I have a solid team of people that hold down the fort at Avery Construction as I'm goofing around a little bit. This team has grown to be, award winning. We've got more than 24 awards now for our design. And I tell you, I want to talk today about just what the market conditions are out there. It just still amazes me. I think the leading up to the election has a lot to do with what's happening in the market.
Yeah.
And I would say this actually started in December a year ago. So about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we just saw, and I think mostly the conservative base of my clients that just put their money on the sidelines.
Yep.
And they're, the people that come out and do an ordinary remodel, meaning like a $50,000 to $75,000 job, one room, a kitchen, or, a couple of bathrooms or something like that.
Yep.
Those people, they dried up. We didn't see them for a while, but we haven't fallen short of any work to do. The people that we've been designing projects for and contracting with are all more of my liberal base elite. The
Okay.
1% of the 1% people.
Got it.
The projects, whereas when I started 13 years ago, the average sale was 25,000. It grew to 50, then 75, then 100. Every new job coming in the door is 250 to 500K right now.
Wow.
And when you meet an individual family that's going to spend $500,000 remodeling a house, not buying a house, remodeling a house that they already own,
right?
That's a significant number, and there's not too many people who can afford to do such a thing. So but that's the people that we're catering to right now.
Do you think that speaks to the overall real estate market as well? People looking like, hey, pricing has gone up, rates have gone up. I'm not sure if I want to get into real estate. I might wait and see.
Yeah, I think absolutely. With the interest rates right now, I went ahead and I didn't let it stop me from continuing with life. I went ahead and bought commercial property, renovated it, installed my wife's business into that property, therapeutic spa out of Brooksville. And but the interest rate that I took, on some of the financing to get through the renovation and everything else, it's a significant number, But the old adage that you marry the price that you buy it for, you date the rate.
Yeah.
It'll come back down eventually, whether it's next year or 3 years from now. Either way, we'll go back and, refinance it, buy out of it, get that percentage point down. I'll never let go of the primary mortgage on my house from the days of 3.375.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's 7 and 8%. And when you get into commercial style loans, they're even bigger. But, are you going to sit on your hands and wait? That's what a lot of people are doing. And,
right.
The elite, the 1% of the 1%, they're not waiting. They're getting things done right now. And I believe wholeheartedly that as we get past the election,
mm-hmm.
regardless of the result,
mm-hmm.
and I think that the market opens back up, because I think if Trump gets in, the conservative base says, yes, the world is going to be all right again, and we can move forward finally,
mm-hmm.
and they start to come off that money. But yet, even if it doesn't go their way, and if Biden is in, then now they look at it and say, oh gosh, these interest rates aren't going anywhere anytime soon. The inflation's not going to stop. So therefore I better go ahead and just get it done now because it's not going to get any cheaper. I'm stuck in my house. There's no way I'm going to sell it and start with a new rate and somewhere else right now. So, might as well go ahead and get it done because the type of projects we work on, we're not doing the repairs and stuff. We're working in the homes behind a gate, on the water, on the golf course, the type of people who they have money still, even when times are tough. And it's just, do they want to spend it or not? How comfortable do they feel with their investments and their business forecast going forward,
Yep. We're talking with Jason Avery Construction here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And Jason, have you heard of or seen a lot of times, a lot of the big questions now around real estate in general are the commercial side. You alluded to it a little bit before. Did you hear about Netflix? Netflix they're buying up malls and they're creating entertainment, almost like a Universal Studios style, where they're going to bring Stranger Things to life, or Bridgerton to life, some of these shows. So they're buying it. So that's an interesting play, right? A repurposing of commercial real estate.
Yeah, well, I've heard of others who are buying the shopping malls or old office buildings and turning them into condos, and some of the malls in the form of these outlying condo style townhomes, but that have a central marketplace, that have, little stores, shops, restaurants inside of the little community itself. And I think it's a brilliant concept because, before COVID, I was using Zoom and, Skype and other ways of video chatting with people, trying to cut down some of my drive time. But it was very difficult to engage people in that back then because nobody knew how to turn the darn thing on.
Yeah.
And COVID forced the world to learn how to use these tools.
Yeah.
And why would you ever go back now? Why would you ever go back to that commuting back and forth when, if I don't have to personally be there to train the designer in the field, because I can just send him over there and then have him communicate with me on FaceTime or Zoom. And it's just as good as if I was sitting there with him. I can still provide the technical layer of expertise that are needed. I can still, see the face of my client, what they like and dislike about what I'm saying and the concept of design. We can still engage and interact and then save hours of time on top of gas, tolls, meals out, all the things that, come along with being on the road a lot.
Yeah.
So, it's absolutely refaced how I do my business. I can't imagine why other companies wouldn't see the benefit, the employee benefit. Can you attract the better employee when you offer some work at home opportunity?
Yeah, even a flex
even if it's
schedule.
part-time, work at home,
schedule.
part-time in the office. But why would you pay for all that overhead for the building?
Let me ask you this. On the commercial side, going back to the condo, kind of moving it to a commercial or residential type scene, what are the challenges? Because you hear about the plumbing and the floor plans. They're not plumbed the right way, right?
Well, but believe it or not, it's actually easier to go from commercial to residential than it is to go the other way around.
Okay.
And I experienced the other way around with the commercial building that I bought in Brooksville and renovated into a spa because it was originally a house in the 50s. So the septic wasn't rated big enough. The old lead pipes under the ground were all crushed, in the front yard. The framing had, lots of sagging. And so anyways, but you're typically oversized in commercial because you had like public use bathrooms. So you had oversized drain pipes to be able to handle lots of volume and stuff. So it's not too difficult of a transition, but there's obviously complications with it, right from the red tape in the beginning, just zoning applications and things of that nature, life safety. And because when your home is attached to other people's homes, if you start the fire that burns down everybody else, what's the liability? So fire rated walls and things just become more necessary. Asbestos surveys in commercial use, because how many of the products that were installed years ago in these malls were installed with adhesives that have asbestos in them.
Got it.
And so, there's challenges in that, but just the commercial market in general has not really been held up as much. I would say if you asked me 18 months ago when the market started to freeze, the commercial work was thin then too. But in the last 6 to 9 months, we've seen lots of commercial projects coming our way. There's lots of businesses that are expanding or, reorganizing their format. We're working on, I don't want to say the name specifically just for privacy purposes, but a major plumbing supply company in this world that, we're taking on one of their local locations. It's a $500,000 renovation as they're, move their showroom out to a different place. They brought their sales counter for the supply side to the front of the building. We're going to rearrange it. And that was kind of a cool instance because they're so big that they had to call their national research department to ask for who they should be obtaining bids from. They were given 2 national brands and me.
Nice.
And so I was the only local company that was suggested for use.
That's cool.
And so that was, exciting to just be in that running. And of course, it's always more appealing to work with the local guy than it is from the national guys who are going to fly people in.
Right.
It takes a lot longer that way.
I would feel more secure that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you got a local guy.
Yeah, so it's exciting world that we live in. Things are steady and right now, and all the average sales are growing. They're all bigger and badder, and that'll obviously introduce us to more of their friends that are bigger and badder. And
yep.
But then I think also as we get past November, I think one way or another, the market's going to start to open back up. We'll get a lot of people that come in racing in. Can I get it done before Christmas? Can I get it done before the New Year?
Right.
And then you'll have those that be like, hey, as soon as the company leaves on January 2, I want you to start.
Right.
And so I imagine here, come November, we're going to see a big surge in work around here because there's still people moving to Florida.
Yeah, you got that wait and see,
No matter what the country does, this region of the country, this little peninsula hanging out down here on the far right, and I'll tell you what, it's exploding, and there's not enough places for people to live.
Yep.
So new constructions, flying, and then in, of course, Pinellas County, Clearwater, Palm Harbor, St. Pete areas.
Yep.
It's land sold out.
Yep,
there's no land left to buy. So everything you do is going to be a renovation of a sort, or a tear down rebuild. A lot of those beach lying edges of the county, those houses are just sitting too low. You're limited on how much improvement you can do. FEMA won't let you improve those homes too much.
Right. Yeah.
So tearing the roof off and building up 3 stories though, that's always an option.
I like that. I want to talk more about that when we come back. Jason Avery Construction on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taking a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk more consumer advocacy here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, remodeling, construction, and more coming up here on the program. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Do us a big favor. Just subscribe and sign up there and get our alerts whenever we drop new content for you. Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon here. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Shout out to my massage therapist. Stress is the #1 killer. Just 4 short years ago, I had a double bypass heart surgery. So I make sure to get my massages in. I do a 90-minute massage, Divine Balance Alternative Healing. Highly recommend Christina. She does a great job on the massages here in Pinellas County, Palm Harbor. You have all types of cool enhancements as well. Hot towels, hot stones. You have essential oils, facial steam, reflexology, and more. Body Works coming from, check her out online, Divine Balance Alternative Healing. My massage therapist right here in Palm Harbor, Florida, divinebalancealternativehealing.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, we got a property at 1950 58th Avenue North, and this is Unit 8 right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We've got a great opportunity for you to own 2 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1 car, carport, plus a bonus room. Brand new listing, just hit the market. Community pool. This is a great opportunity. It's been renovated. Newer HVAC system, electrical panel. It's a 55-plus community living room, dining room combo. Galley kitchen equipped with stainless steel appliances. Newer luxury vinyl plank flooring throughout. Covered parking right outside your back door as well. You have a rec center, heated pool, shuffleboard, more. 1950 58th Avenue North, unit number 8 in St. Petersburg. Also got a beautiful property here at 82124 B Street North. This one's in Pinellas Park. This one is a affordable property here as well. Welcome to your slice of paradise in Golden Gate. 55-plus community, fresh paint, newer AC within the past couple of years. Vinyl replacement windows, shed featuring laundry facilities, direct access to the main room there. Sold fully furnished. 82124 B Street North, unit number 124, Pinellas Park. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we got Jason Avery in the house. He is the owner of Avery Construction. He's also a published author. He does some speaking and coaching, and also owns a cabinet manufacturing warehouse there as well.
Yep. So, as these businesses are growing, I have a career opportunity, so I'm going to use your hub here to try and put it out into the world. One of our senior estimating designers is moving towards retirement, a semi-retired role, but he also happens to be my business partner in the cabinet factory and is going to use what time he has to, help build that piece of his nest egg in retirement. So, in the construction world, though, if you're looking for an opportunity to join an award-winning team, we've just finished voting all through the month of June. I'm waiting to get the results on best of the best for contracting in both the kitchen category and the bathroom remodeling category. We have awards as Best of Clearwater for over 4 years in a row. We're in their Hall of Fame for our bathrooms. Nice. From the Tampa Bay Builders Association, we've won Best Kitchens, we've won Best Bathrooms, Best Entire Condos. Over the last 8 years, we've taken in more than a dozen trophies from them. Trophies from NARI for the Contractor of the Year Awards, and Best of the Best from Home and Garden Magazine. And so there's a creative loafing, so there's a number of different awards we've received for being, top-notch contracting. We don't really go out and estimate the jobs that are, insurance repairs. We don't really do the ones that are investors that are just flipping it. We don't really do the first-time home buyer situation that rolls in some repairs into the financing. It's we as I mentioned earlier, working with the elite. We're on the golf course, on the water, behind a gate, massive projects, usually involving interior designers and or architects. And so I have an opportunity for somebody to work within our spreadsheets and pricing tools using my design software to, create concepts for people and help them, determine what the budget needs to be. If you're that kind of person, or that kind of person working somewhere right now that might be looking for a grass is greener type of opportunity, it's legitimately a $140 to $160K a year type of career for the right person.
What's the coordinates, my friend?
And
Avery Construction?
Go to averyconstruction.com, look us up, and you can find me there.
averyconstruction.com. Always a pleasure, Jason. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, Brandon.
My pleasure. Taking a quick break. Coming back, we've got John Sloan in studio with us. Keyrenter Tampa. We're going to talk property management, do's and don'ts, what to look out for, consumer advocate tips coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Later on as well, 7th century sword found as our feel-good story of the day. Lady in England found a 7th century sword. Really cool story coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback
And
Show.
we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We got John Sloan in the house. KeyrenterTampa.com. We're going to talk property management coming up here in just a moment. Before we do, quick shout out to Brio Tuscan Grill, longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brio Tuscan Grill, that's the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, over at the International Plaza Mall. They've got happy hours daily as well, more bang for your buck there. Awesome drink specials as well. The salmon fresca is one of my favorites, one of the most popular items on the menu. Fresh from scratch, Tuscan-inspired recipes. Brio Tuscan Grill. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez or Joey, the general manager. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. And all you have to do is mention that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. You get hooked up with a free appetizer over there as well. All right, a couple of hot listings here from the team. We like to feature our real estate properties live on air. It's a strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money. 21480 Southwest Marine Boulevard in Dunellen. This is a great opportunity to own real estate. Now, that northern audience gets a much higher bang for your buck there. Much better bang for your buck, lower dollar per square foot, that is. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. This is a beautiful home that boasts a serene location, nestled in the heart of Rainbow Lake Estates. Recently installed vinyl plank flooring. You have extra spacious great room flooded with natural light. You can also venture a short distance to the charming downtown area of Dunellen, and you're centrally located near the renowned crystal clear waters of Rainbow Springs. Really cool opportunity. Check out 21480 Southwest Marine Boulevard in Dunellen, Florida. Also, 5121 40th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, back in Pinellas County here. Now, this is a local property here, 4 bedrooms, 2 bath. 2062 square feet, quarter-acre lot surrounded by oak trees, spacious living room and kitchen. Primary bedroom is located upstairs, enclosed back patio. You have newly refinished hardwood floors throughout. Beautiful property, lots of natural light, lighter colors in the kitchen, and a great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Florida, close to downtown, close to the beaches as well. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath property, 5121 40th Avenue North, St. Petersburg. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's welcome in John Sloan, KeyrenterTampa.com. Welcome in, sir.
Hey, Brandon, thank you very much for having me. I'm glad to be here today.
Hey, my pleasure, man. So, yeah, let's just start with a general overview. So, property management. Tell us what that brings to mind when you think about property management and dealing with landlords, tenants. It's an interesting space.
It really is, and everything we do is about helping the owner of the property increase their rental income and take care of their property. What we strive to do is build wealth one property at a time, and we think real estate's the best place to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you think about the insurability of an asset, the long-term growth, the appreciation over time, and keeping those tenants happy is a part of it. I was reading through your ebook, and there's a lot of really helpful tips in there.
Yeah, and we put that together specifically for landlords that are, possibly working on properties themselves and not necessarily hiring a property manager. There are a lot of pitfalls to be careful of, and I put that book together to help landlords. We are part of the Central Florida Landlord Association, so we want to get that book out there and let everybody know about the pitfalls and help them be successful.
So let's jump into it then. What are some of the common pitfalls? What are your consumer tips in that space?
So, the market changes just like in sales of real estate, rental changes as well. And right now we're in a market where there's a lot of inventory. So a lot of properties that couldn't be sold are now becoming rentals. And anytime that happens, it really kind of saturates the market. It can drive prices down in certain areas.
Yep.
And so you've got to really do a great job marketing. That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
And the big thing about that is there's a lot of different channels out there that you can market your property on. You really got to do a good job targeting your marketing, making sure that you have a very captivating ad, excellent visuals, very, very detailed pictures of the key amenities, etc. That's really where it all starts. And if you drop the ball there, it's not going to go very well. So that's key, especially in the kind of market where we are, where there's a lot of inventory. The next thing is video. Video has become a very, very big thing on rental property. It will set your property apart if you do some professional video. Making sure that you show all the key amenities. You want to develop an emotional connection with the property for any tenant, prospective tenant that's looking at it, boost your engagement, etc. And it also saves the prospective leads and tenants time because they're not necessarily having to dig through a lot of pictures. They're just looking at a shorter video. So it's just a great idea. The next is making your property rent ready, and this is equally as important as marketing. And at times we do see some real issues when we start managing a property. A lot of owners don't realize that when I say rent ready, obviously everything has to be working properly on the property, and I mean everything. There can't be anything broken. Everything's got to be ready as far as appliances go, plumbing, air conditioning, even down to simple things like blinds. You got to make sure all of that looks good and it all works properly.
Right.
That's key. The other big thing that we can see sometimes is people will decide they want to leave something at the property, a lawnmower, or they want to fill a closet up with things that maybe they left behind when they moved, and feel like, well, I can just lock that closet and leave that stuff in there. Well, you really can't.
Right.
Because this is an investment.
You're inconveniencing the other person.
That's right. And they're signing a lease and they're paying you. You really have a product you're selling, which is your rental home. Yep. And so you want to come with your best foot forward and make sure that it's truly rent ready. There's nothing on the property. Everything inside and outside the home is truly rent ready.
Yeah, exactly. The easier it can be, the more turnkey a situation, you're going to set yourself apart. And as you mentioned before, it is a competitive market now in both the rental markets and, somewhat still in the residential sales market. The sales market softened a little bit, but I think, there's kind of an inverse relationship there, right? Because when I'm talking to people through my team at Keller Williams Realty, they're saying, hey, I don't have to sell this thing. If I don't get what I want, I'll just rent it. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we call people that, are kind of put in that position, accidental landlords. And really, that's who we're speaking to today with this ebook, is people that maybe haven't done this before, and they need to be aware of all these pitfalls and make sure that they're going to command the best rent that they can on their property. Yeah,
absolutely. If you just joined us, folks, we're talking with John Sloan. He is the owner of KeyrenterTampa.com, KeyrenterTampa.com. He is a local property manager. So if you have properties that you're looking to rent, he can definitely help you do that. Market them, get them on the market, place the tenants, do the background checks, all that fun stuff that goes into it. And we're going to be offering a free ebook that he can send right over to you here in just a minute. John, tell us a little bit more. What are some of the we talked about a little bit of common pitfalls, but when you think about a landlord-tenant relationship, there's a lot of misnomers out there too, aren't there?
Yes, absolutely. And I think one of the most common issues is a new landlord will think of this, especially if they've lived in the property, they've got an emotional attachment to the property. They're going to sometimes violate fair housing laws with what they're going to ask a tenant to do.
Right.
And a lot of people aren't aware of all of the issues that could come up. Like, I'll give you a perfect example that came up today.
Yep.
We're dealing with a person that owns a house in Tampa, is commanding rent of around $3,000 a month, which is significant.
Yeah.
Well, in Latin American countries, many times people do not flush toilet paper down a toilet. It's commonplace. Put it in a trash can.
Got it.
Well, the owner of the property felt like that's what the tenant in this case should be doing. And obviously, that's not a cultural norm in this country.
Right.
And it is a violation of fair housing laws to ask a tenant to do something like that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So you have to keep all of those things in mind.
Yeah.
As you're renting out your property, because if you're asking somebody to do something that is not within the law, be it something as simple as I'm talking about, which is easy correctable, or if, for instance, maybe you're dealing with a person that has a disability,
right?
You have to consider that, and you've decided to rent your property out, you have to make sure you're following all those regulations. And you can, one thing I can definitely recommend, especially if you haven't done this before and you are doing it yourself, I would consult a real estate attorney to make sure you really understand everything that could go wrong. Because when it goes wrong, that's when you really need an attorney.
Yeah, and it's too late at that point. You've already made that, you've already put it in writing, for example, in a text or an email, something along those lines. And if you're breaking a law, man, you're putting yourself into a position where, who knows, litigation, lawsuit, there could be some major significant challenges there. Yeah, John, tell us more about that. The marketing strategies are great. Yesterday, too, we were talking about some of the recent scams. Can you tell us about some of the scams you've seen? Because we're seeing an uptick in this type of activity. Yes,
that's a huge issue, and it's also a huge issue for us. And we put a lot of things in place to really limit the fraud. And when I'm talking about fraud, what I'm really talking about is when we lease out a property, we are obviously showing the property to many different individuals, and we're placing ads on property on a lot of different channels. We use all the big ones like Zillow and Realtor.com, etc. We kind of shy away from Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and those kinds of things because there is more fraud there.
Yep.
People will steal our ads. So let's say that I take pictures and I place an ad for $3,000 a month on a piece of property. Well, they will take that ad and maybe they'll put it in there for $1,500, which obviously, that's a great deal.
Yeah, makes it look like a great opportunity.
And they will try to steal a key out of my lockbox.
Wow.
If they can. What we've done is we do pre-screen everybody that's going to go look at a property that we have. So we limit it that way, and we also limit it in terms of fraud prevention around the lock boxes that we use.
Yep.
But people will do everything they can to try to scam us to get that key.
Wow.
If they get that key and they place an ad, now they're going to get people, and they're going to try to show the house themselves.
Yep.
And steal a security deposit and possibly the first month's rent.
Yeah.
And that's a significant amount of money. I did talk to this happened to us several times in the fall. I did talk to the St. Police Department, and they told me
St. Pete,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened over 30,000 times between June and December of last year.
That's a staggering statistic.
It's insane, isn't it?
So 6 months, there was 30,000 attempts that got reported.
They got reported. A lot don't even get reported.
Right, exactly. So that's my point. And here's what they'll do too, folks. Just so you know, they're going to try to get certified funds of some sort, right, John?
That's right.
Yeah. So it's something that cash, certified funds, something that they're not going to have to wait for the check to clear or have it on any kind of. If you have a certified funds or cash, and they're gone, right. They're out of the picture.
Absolutely, and whether you're leasing your home or you're a prospective tenant that's looking to rent a home, don't ever give anybody any cash. Always make sure that you've checked out a person's website to see if they actually have a website, if they tell you they're a property manager.
Yep.
And make sure that you can tell these people are on the up and up. If you see one of our ads out there, look on the website. It's got the phone numbers of anybody that you can call. You can verify that, yes, this is true and correct. And people do that all the time. And we encourage you to do that because this is a major problem.
Property management ebook. We got a free ebook offer here. Reach out to the show hotline, 727-263-3707. Just call or text the word ebook or property management to 727-263-3707, and we'll put you in touch with John Sloan, Keyrenter.com, KeyrenterTampa.com, that is, and he's offering a free ebook. So if you text the word ebook to 727-263-3707, you can also submit an email form through the website, consumerqb.com, and we'll make sure we get that ebook over to you. We're going to take a quick break, but coming back more with John Sloan here. KeyrenterTampa.com is the URL. More tips and tricks and ideas around property management, things to do, things to avoid. We're going to tackle the topic of pets as well coming up. Do you allow them? Do you not? How do you handle that? And also some interesting stories that he's seen over the years in property management coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show. And feel-good story of the day, 7th century sword with gold handle found by an elderly lady in England. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here in studio with John Sloan, KeyRenterTampa.com. 18522 Gulf Boulevard. We got a hot listing on the beach. We just did a price improvement here. Owner is motivated, ready to make a deal. This one's right on Gulf Boulevard, Indian Shores. Beautiful property, waterfront on the beach, sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters of Pinellas County. Great opportunity to buy a property, and you could rent this out. This is short-term rental as well. You could talk to John, have him take care of this for you. 3 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2,000 square feet, beachfront condo, Indian Shores, private 2-car parking. Just did a price improvement here as well. And get this, only $250 a month for the HOA. Super low HOA as that goes today. 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey. This is Pasco County, waterfront beauty here in Pasco. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, and enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. You got 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3852 square feet, quarter-acre lot with lush palm trees. Private boat dock. You have a beautiful pool, corner lot location, cul-de-sac home, 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey. You should take a look at that one. Owner is motivated here as well. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75. Tell me something good.
All right, feel-good story of the day. 7th century sword with a gold handle found by elderly lady in a field. And by the way, all the metal detector pros said, it was an empty field. An 81-year-old woman in England found a rare 7th century gold Saxon sword pommel while detecting metal. The pommel was decorated with 2 dragons and an interlaced snake-like pattern. It was most likely lost in a battle and is believed to have belonged to an Anglo-Saxon chief. The woman sold the pommel at auction for $22,000. That's a pretty cool find right there, Alex. I like that. You're the martial arts expert and the weapons expert here. What are your thoughts around that one?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I'm big on just like war history in general. Like I'm different Vikings and samurai and just anybody that was a warrior and like those strategies and stuff of the past. And that obviously just by looking at it, if you're on our YouTube channel watching, a gold like that indicates to me that this was somebody of like notoriety. This was a leader, a king or something like that, because your average soldier wasn't walking around with like a gold hilt on their blade. So this is somebody of prominence here that was carrying this thing. So who knows if they got conquered and they lost the sword in battle, or if it was it was their final resting place and they wanted to take the gold sword with them as for honor or whatever. So that's really impressive. I like this one.
It's really cool, man. I like that. It's very cool. I'd like to find something like that. I mean, you find something like that at auction, you see some of these different finds that are found. And the cool part is too of the story that all of the people said, or the other detecting metal type people that go around that said, the field's empty, don't waste your time.
There's nothing there. Yeah.
So again, we proved the experts wrong. It seems like the experts have been wrong a lot lately. All right, we're in studio here. We're talking with John Sloan. He's our property management expert contributor on the Consumer Quarterback Show, KeyRenterTampa.com. How do you deal with pets when it comes to being a landlord?
So pets are a very, very interesting topic now. There's a few of us in this room. How many of you have pets in your household?
2 of them.
I see everybody pretty much shaking their head. So today, about 68% of the population owns a pet.
68?
68. So if you say, I do not want pets in my property, now you've basically cut out close to 70% of the population. Now you're down to only 30% of the people left.
Exactly.
But you can imagine that's really going to reduce the activity, reduce your ability to get more people looking at your property, and hopefully driving up the rent instead of taking 68% of the market out and driving down the rent. So we advocate allowing pets on a property, and there's various ways that you can do that. Obviously, you don't want any pet damage, etc. And the way we do it is we offer owners a pet guarantee so that they know that their property will not be damaged by pets, and we stand behind that guarantee. But if for a landlord out there that's doing this themselves, the main thing is you do want to get some kind of compensation to approve a pet, and you want to do that not in terms of a deposit, because a deposit has to go back. What you want is a pet fee. So you want a flat rate pet fee, a monthly pet rent, or something combined, so that you are getting compensated to have that pet. And they are people consider them members of their family. They're more than willing to pay for the pet to live there. And so that's how we deal with it and what we advocate. And I can't stress more that it's something you really want to consider, because you will take a lot of the market out if you're not interested in approving pets.
Yeah, I was looking through your ebook too, and it also says if people want to do the month-to-month thing, you can charge more for that.
That's right. That's absolutely right. You're talking in terms of pets?
Yeah, either pets or themselves, because a lot of times they say, "Hey, I don't want to do a 1 year or a 1 year lease or 2 year lease. I'd rather go month to month." Okay, great. You want to do a month to month? It's going to be X% more.
Absolutely. So if your annual lease will always, well, I'm not going to say always, but for the most part, be less than a month to month or a seasonal lease.
Got it.
And we've got a lot of seasonality here as well. So always be careful. Kind of in the lower period, the high rent months are more or less between November and May, let's call it, and then we kind of go into a lower cycle for the more seasonal type properties this time of the year. So be very cautious that you're not going to get top dollar this time of the year. If you're able to rent your property for $5,000 a month in February, you're not going to get $5,000 a month in July.
Right.
So just you always keep that in mind. Understand the seasonality, how that's going to affect your property, and definitely on a month-to-month lease, you're going to always charge more for that.
Question for you: any interesting stories over the years? I know you've been in property management for quite a while. Well, can you give us an interesting story?
Well, we have this came up not too long ago. We have a property right outside of Ybor. And it's in a improving neighborhood for sure, but the neighborhood kind of a little bit rough. And so we had the tenants move out. We were in there. My maintenance team was in there doing some work, and a person decided to throw a rock right through the window. In the same, I can't figure out why they decided to do it when my team was actually there.
Wow!
And starts to climb in the window, I guess, to try to rob the place. Well, obviously there was a couple of guys there, so they tackled him and called the police. And,
wow!
And he ended up going to jail. But I can't figure out still. You couldn't tell that there was a service truck. And,
exactly.
Why did you break the window to go into the house when the guy was there?
Man, timing, guy. Pick your timing a little better. I guess criminals, they don't have much of a brain, anyways. A lot of them, but
he wasn't the smartest crook in the world.
Real quick, squatters. Are we seeing a lot of squatters in Tampa Bay? Or
absolutely. That's also a big problem. I don't know. I don't think it's as big as the fraud we talked about earlier in terms of what I call application or listing fraud.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a problem, and one you really need to watch out for, especially in vacant property. If you're trying to get a property leased, or if it's for some reason just sitting vacant, you really need to be checking on that property every 4 or 5 days. Because you do not want that to happen. It's a real problem. KeyrenterTampa.com. You can find John Sloan online, KeyrenterTampa.com. Also, reach out for the ebook. We'll put you in touch with John. We'll get you his ebook as well. John, thanks a lot, man. Thank you very much,
Great
Brandon.
tip.
I appreciate it.
My pleasure. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our producers helping out on the show. Yumiko, we have Alex and David, the whole team doing a great job always helping us put together the show. A lot of work behind the scenes as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Ryan.